Have you ever wondered how to prepare healthy food that actually tastes good? Well, stay tuned while Avita Tizano, Brenda Kemp, and yours truly, Nice Collins, show you just how to do it and give you a taste of paradise.
My name is Avita Tizano.
And my name is Brenda Kemp. Thanks for joining us today.
And today's recipe, we are going to make blueberry cobbler. My favorite fruit is blueberries. I just love blueberries. And you know, Brenda, we can make this recipe and we can eat it for breakfast.
Avita, tell me just how that's possible.
Well, normally, most pastries are loaded with sugar, but no, this one has nature's candy in it, dates. So that's what gives it its sweetener. So we're going to begin our recipe with these ingredients. We're going to make the crust, and it has 3 cups of pecans dried, 1 tablespoon of vanilla extract, a half a teaspoon of mineral salt, and 3/4 cup of pitted dates. And today we're using Majul dates, and these are the sweetest dates. They're wonderful, and they're my favorite.
Okay.
There are various types of grape dates, but these are my favorite because they're very soft, and they're dried, but to me they're juicy. So we're going to start off with the dates, 3 cups of pecans, and the vanilla extract, and then we're going to process it.
Okay. And how long are we going to process it?
Just till it gets the appearance of sand. And what the dates do, the dates make it stick together. It gives it the consistency.
I see.
Yes. So let's make our syrup as for the filling.
Okay.
For the syrup, you will need 1 cup of pitted dates, 1/4 cup of coconut oil, 2 teaspoons of vanilla extract, and 1/3 cup of water. The filling, 2 cups of fresh blueberries. So let's get started. The filling. Here we have the dates.
Are those the same Majul dates?
Yes.
Okay.
Coconut oil. And I need the bottom to the Vitamix. Vanilla extract. Water. And salt. So what is so good about this recipe is that it's easy. It's really, really simple. And it's also interchangeable. You can do blueberries, peaches, apples, any kind
Whatever
of fruit.
your choice of fruit
Whatever
is.
your choice of fruit it is. Can you help me with the plug, please? Thank you.
There you go.
All right. Okay, after this is blended, that coconut oil smells really, really good.
You know, Evita, a lot of desserts are packed full of sugar and unhealthy stuff. I haven't seen you put any sugar in this.
No, the dates are the only sugar that we need. That's Nature's candy. That's what it is. Now I need a bowl to combine the syrup and the blueberries.
Let's see. This one will
Okay,
work.
that'll work. So we're gonna do 2 cups of blueberries, and we put the syrup in there. This is really kind of like date paste that when you mix dates and water together. But the coconut oil, when it's refrigerated, it firms up. It makes it firm up.
Let me ask you about the blueberries. Could a person use frozen blueberries?
You can. If you don't have fresh blueberries, you can use frozen blueberries. Okay, and then we're going to combine this.
That looks very good.
Yes, it smells wonderful. You stir this up. And now we take the crust. We sprinkle the bottom of the crust in a pie pan. Very simple and easy recipe. And this recipe is great for your kids to help with because it's really, really simple and it doesn't take a lot of work. And children love this recipe.
Okay. Now, are you going to have crust on the sides?
No, we're just going to put the crust at the bottom. Just real simple.
Okay.
Then take the blueberries, spread them out.
Wow. This is a very great breakfast item.
Yes. Take some more crust, sprinkle it on top.
That's looking really nice.
It's a very simple recipe. And also, you can, if you want to, you can pour almond milk on it. It is really good with almond milk and also with cashew cream. It's yummy. And we make a raw ice cream that's delicious, and that would go really well on top of that.
For breakfast?
For
also?
breakfast, because there's no sugar in it.
That's great.
So there you have it. Blueberry cobbler. This is nature's candy.
And it took probably less than 6 minutes.
Yes, it's very, very quick and easy.
Cut the fat but keep the flavor? What in the world? It's the fat that actually makes the food taste good. But we're gonna learn today how to cut that but also keep that flavor going. And we have our special guest expert again with us, one of my associates, Regine. Regine, welcome back.
Thank you very much for having me.
Good news, good to have you. See, now today is a very important topic. We're talking about cutting that fat and
Yes.
keeping that flavor and stuff. And that's almost like unheard of, you know what I mean? Because when we talk about food, you always think of that flavor that comes with it. You gotta deep fry it, and you gotta have that, you know, that fatty meat or whatever
Yes.
like that. You know what I'm talking about.
Yes.
And that's actually like what gives the flavor. You know what I mean? You could have something with like almost literally like no salt. You just deep fry it or something, have a lot of fat going, and the flavor is there. But today we realize that this is causing major problems. You know, alone, not only just like the protein that we're getting from that, which we get in excess because we have no shortage of that here in the States, but also all the fat that comes with it. And so we have to look at some other alternatives here. But why is this fat causing so much of a problem, Regine?
Well, you probably already know this, but the fat is linked to heart disease, all types of heart disease, cancer, diabetes. People think sugar for diabetes, but it really is a lot to do with fat.
A lot of fat.
A lot of fat.
Matter of fact, you hit that on the head. diabetes is running rampant. I mean, like, people are dealing with it left and right. And you said it, they think it's sugar, but it's actually the fat that blocks some of those receptors, and then you have an increase in the sugar, and your doctor will tell you about it. But today we're going to learn how to cut that out of there so we can get healthy again and avoid these problems. And so what foods contain a lot of these fats, though? Mostly
animal products.
Okay.
You think of your byproducts like the butter,
okay,
the whole milk,
right,
you know, the cheeses, but then you think of the animal products themselves, you know, just like your meats, especially your processed meats. Your processed meats are really high in fat, but you think about things that you would think are meat, like bacon, it's actually in the fat group. It's not even in the meat group.
Wow. Yeah. So hold on, you telling me that strip of bacon and stuff like that, that's actually not in the food pyramid. Right. It's not hanging out with the meats. No. That's hanging out in that little sparingly section or something like that, or don't even use section?
Basically.
Wow.
Yeah.
So it's that bacon that's really causing some of these problems. And a matter of fact, you know, they did that little study. They took 2 healthy groups of young men, and out of those 2 groups, they gave one group a high-fat diet and very low in sugar, like almost over 65% fat diet. And then the other group, they gave them 1 pound of sugar and very little fat. Do you know what happened? The group that had high fat, in less than 2 weeks, they became mild diabetics. If anybody want to know how to become a diabetic, I can teach you right now. Just eat a lot of fat, and you will be a diabetic, or you may become a diabetic. And it says almost less than 2 weeks, okay? Now, I know y'all don't want to do that, so we're not teaching you how to do that, but sometimes when we know, then we can avoid.
Right.
But the other group that had 1 pound of sugar and very little fat, not one of them became diabetics after 11 weeks when the experiment was terminated. But hold on, I know y'all writing down sugar does not cause diabetes. But now, it may not cause it, but it's directly related to it as well. So when we do have the problem, that sugar goes up, and we ain't going to waste any more time with that. Right. But please, just avoid the fat. So let's cut the fat today. And you talked about bacon and sausages and different items like that. So I figured this would be a good opportunity for us to learn today how to make some unsausages. I know you have your sausages, but we're going to undermine that, and we have the unsausages, because our goal today is to give you something better. And so we're going to go to our first recipe, unsausages, and the ingredients is very simple and easy for you. It's 3½ cups of water, 1/2 cup of Bragg's liquid aminos, 1/4 cup of nutritional yeast flakes, 2 tablespoons of oil, 4 tablespoons of onion powder, 1 tablespoon of pure maple syrup, 2 tablespoons of Italian seasoning, 1 tablespoon of garlic powder, 3½ cups of quick oats, and 1/2 teaspoon of sea salt. So watch this now. I know it seemed like quite a few ingredients, but hey, in order to keep that flavor, you have to work with it a little bit. So the good news is we're not adding a bunch of fat and stuff to it. We're just adding more herbs and seasonings and items of that nature. Is that okay, Regina?
I love these ingredients. You know what I like is we're cutting the fat. We have fiber here. I like that. Because, you know, the problem with Western societies is high fat, low fiber. This is like high fiber, low fat. And
high fiber and high flavor.
Yes, and a bunch of flavor. I love that.
And the recipe is quite easy. We take all of these items and we pour them into, I already had the water going there, so we have the nutritional yeast and all of these items. We pour them into the pot. Let the water boil a little bit. The Italian seasoning. Is it smelling good already?
Yes.
All right, and we're just going to mix that up. And you could give me a hand and pour the rest of those items. So we're going to pour all of those except for the oats. We just want to let it come together. And then the salt, as we know, is optional. So if a person's dealing with a little blood pressure or something like that, you don't have to put it in because we have a good amount of the Bragg's liquid aminos there. But we want to make sure we keep that flavor going. And you go ahead and you bring that to a simmer. Man, it smells great already.
I know, it smells so good.
I'm getting hungry. And once that gets going, then you could go ahead and you could take the quick oats and you could pour that in as well. And I'm just speeding it up here. Just follow the instructions. You speed that up. You turn this off. You let it sit for a little while until it sets a little bit. And you see it's getting nice and thick, right?
Yes, yes.
As you see there, you mix that properly, and that starts to absorb all the flavor. And that's going to take a little while, so we're just going to go ahead. We already had a little batch done on the side, and this is how it should come out looking, Regine. Okay. And I'm sure you know it comes out to a nice little thick, I don't know. It almost looks like ground meat a little bit there.
Really.
Well, hey, watch this. That's how the sausages look as well. So you just take a little bit. Hey, why don't you get your hands dirty? You have me doing all the hard work. And then you make it into a nice little patty, like a little sausage. You know how they cut those over, and you put that on a nice dish with some parchment paper or something of that nature. Yours is a little heavy there. That's all right. You like yours. And watch this. Here's the cool thing about it. When it's this consistency, you can do anything you want. So we went ahead and we made some. Yeah, you can roll it. A matter of fact, anybody ever heard of like linkets or little veggie sausages? Make your own veggie sausage right there. You got that? So I have a little veggie sausage there. Is there anything else that we can make? If you want to do like a quarter pounder. Anybody like quarter pounders? You just make it really nice and thick, and then there you go. Oh, you know what's even cool with this sausage? You know how they do meatballs? You can take that back. I'm sorry, I'm having a good time. Y'all don't mind, I'm in the kitchen today. All right? You can make a nice little meatball or something of that nature there. Real simple and easy. We have all this stuff clumping up, and it's good for the kids. Have the kids making these with you because they will learn and they will stick to it for the rest of their lives. All right? And I think we'll have a finished product for you all here shortly. We just got to put this in the oven, let that bake a little bit. But you can't have no sausage. People don't have sausages without having some what? What's the key to the sausage? And the sausage, you have the biscuit, then you put
gravy.
You got to have some gravy. We got to have some gravy. So we have some gravy lined up as well. We're going to go ahead to the recipe, and here it is. It's real simple. You have the nut gravy, which is 4 cups of water divided, 1 1/4 cup of Brazil nuts, 2 tablespoons of onion powder, 2 1/2 tablespoon of nutritional yeast, 1 1/2 tablespoon of Bragg's liquid aminos, 2 teaspoons of beef style seasoning, and 1 teaspoon sea salt to taste. Whatever works best with, for you. The key is the flavor and stuff of that nature. So our goal here today is just to give like a little foundation, like a little example. And when you're at home and you're cooking and stuff like that, you know what works best for you. We can't say one rule is for everybody. The principles are the same. We're gonna take it easy on the salt, but adjust it to taste, and that's very crucial. Now, in order to do this recipe, we're gonna need a blender. So make sure you have your blender ready, and we'll look at a couple of other items. It's real simple, like the rest of them. To do, we have the Brazil nuts. We'll just pour that in here. Now, Brazil nuts are amazing. Do you know, like, even a person who is like coming out of like a different addiction, or even trying to stop smoking, Brazil nuts help out with that. It helps that cessation, and so it's fantastic. It's actually another reason that even though we're cutting fat here today, we still need fat, because many people on like these no-fat diets and stuff like that. How does that affect them there?
Well, they're fat-soluble vitamins. You can't absorb those vitamins without fat, so you do need some fat. You need some fat,
so please make sure. We're just going to add about 2 cups here to make sure it blends properly, depending on your blender. And I'm just going to go ahead and blend that. So you want to blend it for about 2 minutes. We probably won't blend it that long, but we'll see how it goes. Real simple, easy. I know we have our own ways.
I have to admit, I wasn't sure how that was going to come out. It was looking kind of funny, but it's white and creamy like regular
nice
gravy.
And creamy. Now, here's the thing. If you put less water, if you have a really good blender, then you can cut the time, because now what we have to do, we have to put it on a pot and then take this and put that there. Oh, look at that. I even got some chunks in there as well. But that's all right. That'll add something to the gravy. People may think it's a piece of sausage or something. No worries about that. As a matter of fact, they make the gravy with pieces of sausage.
Yes.
Tell them that this sausage, however, won't cause any problems, all right? And it's just a Brazil nut. So I have that on there, and you're just going to whisk that a little bit till it gets even creamier. You can add more water if you have a lighter blender. But you go ahead and do that for a little while till it gets nice and thick. You all are experts on gravy, I'm sure. I mean, I didn't realize how good I was in gravies until I started like trying to make my own gravy. So go ahead and you do that till it's nice and thick, and then you can put that over your biscuits. Anybody like biscuits?
Oh yes, you have to have biscuits with
you
gravy.
You have to have biscuits.
And sausage.
Biscuits with gravy, without gravy, just don't make sense.
No.
You know, the other day somebody passed me a nice biscuit. I was like, "Where's the gravy?" They was like, "You don't eat our gravy." And I'm like, "Man, I gotta teach them this recipe here."
It smells really good.
Because gravy is crucial. But the only thing is, with the normal gravies and stuff like that, how do we normally make those?
Cream.
Cream or
butter,
just butter
yes.
or a whole stick of it, not
Right.
just one. As a matter of fact, we don't even put like oil as the base. We just put a whole stick of butter because that adds to that flavor and stuff. But it also adds to the flavor of the arteries, you know what I mean?
Yes,
it's going to
it
start
does.
clogging things up, and we're going to have major issues with the cholesterol. People wonder why the blood pressure's adding up. And they wonder why they have so much extra blessings. They're like, I don't even eat meat. And there are many vegetarians, they don't eat meat and stuff like that, but they really go heavy on the butters and the cheese and the different items of that nature.
Yes,
and in some cases, you may put yourself in a worse situation than a person who may eat even a piece of meat, but then they don't use a lot of these extra items. And as a matter of fact, I think we're going to do a program, what is it called, the add-ons or something like that. And a lot of these things that we add to our food is actually causing more problem than the food itself.
It's very true.
And so we're going to share a couple of those items coming up here soon. This is getting nice and thick, and I'll let that simmer there on low real quick. All right, there you go. So we have that. We have the unsausages. Let's look at some finished products, and then we can talk a little bit more about it. What do we have here? We have the, all right, oh man, I don't know if I want to show y'all because people may try to jump through the TV or do something and grab the unsausages from us. So we have the unsausages here, and also we have the gravy as our finished product. Now, here's a crucial item to remember with this. Now, this is a part of a meal.
Okay.
But it's not a complete meal.
That's true.
What vitamins and minerals would you get from these Brazil nuts and some of these unsausages that will be helpful for us, Regine?
Well, you know what, I've said this already. We know that with the Western diet, fiber is really major. And this is loaded with fiber, and I love that. And we're using the oats. We know that helps to lower cholesterol. I think that's amazing. The Brazil nuts, I heard you talking some about the Brazil nuts. Tell me some more about that.
Well, the Brazil nuts is crucial. Like you said, when people are doing stop smoking classes, we actually encourage them to take about a handful of the Brazil nuts, and it helps there to relieve that, you know, that craving. Now, watch this. It's not the cure-all, okay? And we're not saying this. I don't want everybody running around, oh, you smoke? Here, have some Brazil nuts and stuff like that. Of course, there's a process and there's a plan, and I'm sure there'll be other programs that you'll be able to learn more about that on the channel as well.
What I like
and
about
so the
this
Brazil
gravy.
nuts is crucial. So watch this. Can you imagine somebody's having like a good meal and they're also helping themselves to relieve themselves of different situations? It provides quite a bit of vitamins and minerals as well. And so people enjoy that. And so we have that sausage, we have that gravy that goes over it. Now I'm getting a little hungry, and I wish I could take some right now. I don't even know if it's okay to do so.
So you just put this on top of that? Just
Yeah,
like
matter of fact, you just drizzle it on there. And what else could we have this with? We can have this with some whole wheat toast.
Wow.
Besides whole wheat toast, anybody like grits and stuff like that? You can have this with grits, especially if you get whole grain options to that. And so we have that gravy there. If you notice, the bell peppers that we put also is very good. So this with some whole grain kind of grits or even toast, it would be considered, but you have to have something fresh in there, would be considered a complete meal. Many times we're running and we just get these little things with a biscuit here and a sausage in the middle and maybe a slice of cheese and stuff like that. And we're like, oh, I had breakfast this morning. That's only one part, okay? And so now you can even bring this to work. Share this with your friends. Don't tell them that you didn't get it from the fast food place. As a matter of fact, if you put it in the same wrapper, maybe they won't even know. But the good thing about it is that they're bringing on good health as well. But when we look at flavor, the key is, if you notice, we added quite a bit of herbs. Herbs is crucial for the flavor. So we had some Italian seasoning, which is a mixture of different herbs. What else did we add?
We have onion powder and garlic powder. It's like that's a staple for flavor for anything.
Yeah, onion and garlic powder is crucial.
Yes.
A matter of fact, all you have to do is cut up some onions if you have friends coming over or whatever. But don't trick them, because I noticed if I cut up some onions and just put it on a pot or whatever, it smells up the place. They're like, man, nice. What do you have to eat? Nothing. You want some onions or something like that? Onions and garlic adds flavor to everything. And watch this. If you don't have the onion and garlic powder, or you can easily just go ahead and use the actual onion and the garlic. And let me tell you something about that onion, especially fresh onions. They found that like when a person is starting to like have problems with breathing and stuff, like sometimes maybe even like an asthma attack or whatever, but of course call your doctor first, call 911 if somebody's having this, use your items. But the onion, when you cut it fresh, right, it has like little, items in it that is necessary. And when you breathe it in, it actually opens up the passageway, the air passageway. So onions is very good. So a person dealing with sinusitis or allergies or different items like that, I know you may not subscribe to this, but even like eating raw onions and stuff like that, it helps to like open up those passageways. And everybody knows that, you know what I mean? And so the onion is good, the garlic as well. And the key is, if you can, try your best to always use fresh items for this. And this is what's going to help with that flavor, the flavor. You can even make your own fresh Italian seasoning by using quite a bit of different herbs and mixing them all up, which is actually helpful.
You know what I like about this too? You know when you're coming off of, or you're trying to come off of meat, and you get those things from the store and the frozen stuff, they're so expensive.
Okay. You know, like the substitute, the meat substitutes.
Right, and they have all kinds of ingredients, and I remember my grandma saying, I'd rather have the real stuff because I don't know what that stuff is.
Wow.
But I like this because oats are so inexpensive.
Oats are inexpensive.
Right.
What else? The Italian seasoning is a dime a dozen. You can find that there. But you remember what you said. Sometimes when we're making transitions, we get into like a lot of these like substitutes.
Yes.
And when you start reading ingredients, you're like, man, I don't even know if this is as good as what.
Right.
Some people even say, man, my blood pressure went up or whatever.
Right.
But what I'll do, I won't complain. I said, look, you have the option. It's your life, your choice. You can either buy it or not. But watch this. Why buy it when you can make it yourself at home?
Yeah.
It's really simple and easy. A matter of fact, it's so easy. I would tell you normally to take these and double and triple the recipe and put it in the freezer for later. But that may be an idea. Yeah. But it's so easy to do. Everybody can knock this out in the morning, before you run to work or school. Right. This is an excellent Sunday morning meal with the family. Yes. We want to be out in the VIP section with people. But you mentioned even like your grandma, she says, man, I'm not going to deal with that stuff. I'll just have the real thing. But then the only drawback is the real thing has so much of that cholesterol and the fats and stuff like that.
True.
But to be honest, the stuff tastes good.
Yes.
The reason why it tastes good, because it has all the things that's probably not as good for us.
Right.
But here's the rule of thumb. Just because it has all that flavor and stuff doesn't mean it's the best thing for us. And what I want to encourage us to do is slowly but surely start to make 1 or 2 adjustments. It's really simple, really easy, and I'm sure everybody can do it. And if you don't believe me or Regine, give it a try yourself. Follow the recipe. Let us know how it worked for you.
Have you ever